MVS is him? Question.
No, absolutely not. No.
Hey, he got a Dewey going from Peyton Manning's house to go buy a can of dip. All right, so
Is that right?
that's what it was. Oh, she got into amateur porn and then we got onto celebrity boxing. Great job, Tanya.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
Was that how we're starting the show?
What? they didn't push the game yet.
Just a sensible chuckle to warm you into this episode of the Juice Boys on NPR.
Gentlemen, we're so back.
Yeah,
Episode
you're back,
26. Welcome to the Juice Boys Show, weekly sports podcast with three brothers-in-law who love each other enough to start a podcast and dumb enough to keep going after 26. Welcome. However you're listening, wherever you're listening, whenever you're listening, we feel blessed that you are somehow doing so and confused. But I'm Cody the Third Turd. We got Juice Boy Joe. We got Mr. Pulp Pelletier. Boys, how we doing? Another week.
Spectacular. I'm spectacular.
I'm doing well. I'm doing okay, you guys. Yeah.
That's good.
We're back in the swing of things, back at school.
Yeah, you had like 14 snow days.
Yeah, are you finally thawed out enough to leave your home?
Dude, it was fantastic. Last week, I was just thinking, I was like, I've worked like 5 days since December 21st. It was incredible.
That's disgusting.
It was just,
That's awesome.
I have not.
Yeah,
Good
for you.
Every day.
You earned that.
Yeah. It was great.
Well, you guys know the
Earned
drill.
that.
We got a sports docket. We got squeezes of the week. We got a potato. Got picks. We got a wheel of degeneracy. But first, before we start anything, we had Chris. We gave Chris an assignment, guys. 25 episodes in on this thing.
Did we give me an assignment to have a drink?
No. No, you don't get that privilege anymore. Hold on.
Yeah.
Fellas,
I'm
I'm drinking Aberfeldy 12. I'm finally not drinking Shenanigans, and now is when you don't want to fucking talk about it?
Joey, what are you drinking? Let's.
I was really thinking I want to go back to my roots with this show.
Ooh.
And one of the things that I haven't drank in a long time, it's been sitting in my closet that we always say every single week that I haven't had in probably 20 weeks.
Hey, the holiday bottle.
I'm busting it out. I'm going to finish this bad boy tonight. It's been sitting in there since Christmas. It's going to be fun.
Oh, no beer chaser tonight?
Oh, I definitely have a beer chaser.
I already saw the beer chaser.
Yeah, I was drinking that already. Yeah. Oh, the beer chaser. Is
it a beer chaser then at that point?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be a chaser. This is just an additive because that whiskey's fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Unlike that god-awful mistake I had last week that is now just going to rot in my cupboard.
Yeah, I'm still just floored that you were talked into Jim Beam Black.
I mean, I was
Jim
just
Beam
like,
makes a lot of really tasty stuff. It's just not Jim Beam white or black.
So I'm drinking Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. It's fantastic. It's one of the best beers in America. It's
Beautiful.
Awesome. Craft brewery still good. Fantastic.
Solid. I'm drinking a blonde roast Caucasian for January.
All right.
Okay.
No rhyme or reason. It just sounded kind of nice.
Okay.
Boys, now can I get to my shtick, Chris?
Yeah,
Okay.
dude.
Okay.
All right. Well, we've been doing this thing 25 episodes.
Can I catch a little praise for the fact that I finally gave into peer pressure and I'm drinking something that isn't
No.
Shenanigans?
That's the show. That's the thing. Is to drink different. No, you don't get no. You're doing your job.
Oh, this is only
Let him
now
say what
being
he's trying to
explained
say,
me.
Chris.
Yeah, can I? As I've said 14 times, we've done this thing 25 times. We've learned a lot. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've said a lot of dumb things. So what we did is we assigned Mr. Chris an assignment to go watch the tape, go watch the film, go reflect on what we've done good, what we've done bad, how can we get better on this show for the next 25 episodes.
Absolutely.
Chris,
so
what did you come up
fellas,
with?
we've got about a half a year's worth
Oh no,
aged juice.
aged orange.
And we're here to find out,
Fermenting?
did that juice, well, it's turned into wine. Did we produce Dom Perignon or did
what?
we produce prison toilet wine?
Yeah.
So why don't you take a stroll down memory lane as we visit Moron Vineyards. So here is my tape review. So I went back and listened to the first 10 episodes, and these are the things that stood out to me the most. First and foremost, episode 1, we never actually introduced shit.
No.
We just hit record and started shooting from the hip as if the listener sat down with us mid-conversation.
I just knew
We
what was
were
going
already having a discussion and then finally remembered to hit record and just assumed that the brand new listener to the brand new podcast knew why they were here, what we were doing, or who the hell we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was beautiful. It was just this chaotic, beautiful moment.
Yes.
And then we went on to spend 15 minutes of the first 2 episodes talking about Randy Johnson killing a pigeon with a baseball.
Murdering.
Before ever having a thought to introduce ourselves or the show.
Oh, we talked about him. Okay. I forgot.
It wasn't until episode 3 that we introduced ourselves after having spent countless moments talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Randy Johnson killing a pigeon.
One of my favorites.
Oh my God. That pigeon moment is a foundational pillar of the Juice Boys show and the Juice Boys ethos. But the cool thing was watching it kind of develop. We kind of started developing some structures, some different shticks that we would go back to. And a few things that I noticed. Joey
Yes.
talks about his predictions like he has a phone line to himself in the future and is shocked when they don't come true as if his future self lied to him.
Yeah.
Joey reacts when he got it wrong as if reality got it wrong, but he had it right.
100%.
And he
You gotta be
cannot
confident,
believe,
brother.
Victim Joe.
cannot believe it. But I love that because of that confidence, it gives him the bravery to use terms like juggernaut when
true.
talking about a prediction. Even though, so having gone back and listened to the episode where he calls the New England Patriots a potential juggernaut, we had all just made picks the week before. Everybody's takes were hot shit. We were all garbage except for Joey predicting the Ravens as the 1 seed.
That's what I
And,
said, baby.
and Joey predicted this to be Belichick's last season with the Pats after week 2.
So I'm sounding pretty good here, dude.
Yeah, we
week
sure
2?
gave Joey a lot of shit for using the term juggernaut when otherwise he's pretty much the only one to have gotten things right early on.
That's
Yeah,
right,
but it's also
dude.
contradicting
That's
that he said Bill Belichick's gone after week 2, and then 3 weeks later, whatever, said juggernaut.
No, I said Juggernaut week 1. That was week 1. That was their only good game against the Eagles.
He did say
That was it.
specifically, I saw what I expect to see continue throughout the season is a team that continues or an offense that continues to develop and get back.
Yes.
An offense that continues to get better that I expect to develop over the season that could potentially turn into an offensive juggernaut. And then Brandon ripped him to shreds for that verbiage.
To this
and we've
day.
continued to do so. Yeah. It's been a fun pastime. The next thing that stood out to me that I wonder if you guys remembered, Joey introduced us to the term sprouse in week 2. And in week 3, Cody and I vowed to never let him forget it. And we haven't mentioned it since.
And we forgot it.
Yep. So I would like to bring back the term sprouse.
Okay.
Something that I noticed with me is the more confidently I talk about a take, the less likely it is to happen. So do with that what you will, listener, when you're gambling. Another, Mr. Cody, we should stop talking about Taylor Swift McCoy is the only person that ever brings up Taylor Swift on his own.
Oh, I love it. I love talking about Taylor Swift.
Last week, your take was we need to stop talking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
that's exactly
that
what you
she's
said.
toxic. That she's toxic. She is not toxic. She
You said
goes
we
and
need to
watches her
stop talking
game.
about her.
Oh,
I'll talk about her all day.
And last, we will never have a funnier moment in this podcast or our live than when Joey disclosed to us that he was a sad parking lot World Series baby.
Yeah.
After having gone back and listened to the first 10 episodes all over again, there is no greater moment that has ever been recorded on this podcast than Joey explaining that he thinks that he's a parking lot World Series baby.
Just seeing the logic go through his head as he spoke about it was.
I wish I could go
gold.
back in time and just relive that moment over and over
happened.
again.
All right, boys, sports docket, divisional weekend, championship weekend. A lot of good football was being played. Where do you guys want to start? 4 games played. Stroud had it till he didn't have it.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs
Yeah.
overcome the Bills. Baker and Jordan Love both throw a pick with under 2 minutes on a potentially game-winning drive. Oh, there's so much. What do you guys want?
I want to start with that game. I want to start with the Buccaneers. I thought that the Buccaneers looked fantastic. I thought they played their asses off. Baker Mayfield threw for over 300 yards, 3 tutties. I mean, he was balling. I know that last throw was bad.
It was not good.
I don't understand why they have so many drops. I think he throws the ball too hard. And I think he throws it on too much of a line where it's not like
Just
locked
slings
it
it.
in there. He just slings it. It's like, because it's just like, man, they've just been dropping a lot of his right on the hands passes. I was extremely happy to see Detroit finally pull it off. You know, that was incredible. They're going back to the championship game before for the first time since 1991. Are you kidding me? That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. And seeing Aiden Hutchinson out there just watching around, he was raised in Michigan, a lifelong Lions fan, played at University of Michigan, is realizing, holy shit, I might have just changed this curse. I think the takeaway from that is that Baker Mayfield should be sought after like this offseason. He's going to be a free agent. There's a lot of teams that could use him. It's a lot of teams that could use him, and the Buccaneers might re-sign him.
I'd
Who
love
knows?
to see that.
Why not? I guess. Why would you not?
Why would they
Yeah.
not? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd
without
love
doubt.
to see him in Denver. I think he would be awesome.
You could franchise tag him for $35 million, is what I read. That's a cheap quarterback. Why would you not do that?
That's $35 million, dude. That's incredible. But the Lions going in there, I think if they just play their game, they stay physical, they bite kneecaps, you know, they rip chodes, they punch dicks, they just do all the shit that they need to do to be nasty and just stay and just win the battle in the trenches. I think they can beat San Francisco. Green Bay was, oh baby, they
lost the game. Oh man,
they almost had it.
They should have had it. They should have had it. Brock Purdy, just a little bit of rain and no Deebo Samuel, and he turns into Mr. Irrelevant all over again. Except for the last drive, I'll give him credit.
I think the big thing is
drive.
no Deebo. That team's different when he's not in there. Just very different.
George Kittle. I mean, they have all the weapons still, so it's weird how one receiver kind of throws them into the.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said thus far. I remember, especially about Rip and Chodes. I couldn't agree more about Rip and Chodes. Yeah. I wish you would talk more about it.
Yeah,
we're a pro chode podcast. Is that right?
Very chode heavy podcast, I think.
No, I don't. Not bad, but ripping them. I mean, yeah, and punching taint. Come on, man. You didn't cover that in your recap that you just had of our past.
That wasn't in the first
weeks.
10 episodes.
Keep going, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the last time they were struggling with injuries. You guys gave me shit for saying there's a reason that Brock Purdy is was Mr. Irrelevant as well. Is once the game plan gets shaken up and all of a sudden it's in his hands. Yeah, it's in his hands to go out and execute and make decisions and make the reads. He really struggles. I think that, that could be him being Mr. Irrelevant. That could just still be him, as a young quarterback. I'd love to see that develop more. But as soon as defenses have enough bodies to simultaneously get a bit of pressure on Purdy and still have halfway decent coverage with all of the superstars, he really, really struggles. And so going up against this Lions defense, like he is going to have him. Well, he's going to have himself a day.
It's going to be a battle. Aiden Hutchinson and Trent Williams
he just wants to feast. He's coming in hungry.
And the 49ers defensive line, as much talent is on there, like Bosa and all them, they have not gotten pressure in December. I've been reading a lot on this.
I can't believe it. It's like they added Chase Young and took a step back.
Chase Young has an 8% pressure rate.
I don't know how that
he was getting his ass kicked by wide receivers on chip blocks. Do you see that? Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson or whoever the hell the other one was, Jaden Reed were chipping the shit out of him, completely neutralizing him. What's going on? What's going on with that guy? He used to be an absolute freak, But I think Detroit really matches up well with San Francisco. I think they really do. I think that
they have the weapons.
They have they have Ragnow and Penei Sewell on the edges. They're going to be able to give Goff time, and Amon-Ra's a beast, dude.
Baller.
That dude is a baller. He is just not afraid of anything. I would love to see it. Jahmyr Gibbs is so fast. When he just blew by Antoine Winfield. I was like, you got to be kidding me. That didn't even look real.
Stacked.
Didn't even look real. And just
biting kneecaps.
Biting kneecaps and biting another one on the way up.
We hit the Texans-Ravens game quick. There wasn't a ton. Texans did have a tie ball game. Texans, it just wasn't their year. I mean, rookie quarterback, rookie receiver Tank Dell got hurt. Yeah. Stroud's the guy, obviously. They got their coach. I mean, the Ravens just were playing a different speed.
They'll come back better. They'll come back better for this. They'll come back with more experience, more confidence. They've clearly proven that they've got something that is
they got a formula
working but new. Yeah.
First time doing it.
Yeah, they're like, my God, what happened? Who would have ever saw that? I think in our preseason predictions, I think I said that they were going to win 3 games. I think I'll go back and listen to that. I was like, Houston, they'll win 3 games.
Yeah, if we go listen to our preseason predictions, there's not a whole lot to look at and go, that was okay.
Hey, I know Joe Burrow getting hurt. That really hurt all of mine.
Well, they had the Chiefs winning.
I mean, half of the AFC's starting quarterbacks getting hurt. Nobody saw coming.
But Ravens were a little rusty in that first half with that 2-week bye. I mean, the Texans had an opportunity there, but they could not move the fucking ball in the first half. That special teams punt return really.
Ravens only let up 3 points, right? Because they only scored 10, and that was a punt return. That Ravens defense is nasty.
They're fast. They're strong. Oh, they just take up. They are tough.
How you feeling going into that game, Mr.
Should we talk about the previous game first? Shall we get into that?
And finally, culminating with the game of the weekend, Chiefs win on the most hated phrase in Buffalo history, wide right once again. I can't believe what I saw. The poor Buffalo Bills are a snake-bitten franchise, dude. They are
incredible.
I don't know if they will ever do it. I don't know if they will ever do it. If there was ever a time to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it was this season.
I mean, that was it.
It was that time. They were at home. They had the weather. They had the fans. People were going ape shit. I mean, they had the early lead in that game. But then I got to just think to myself, if McCole Hardman didn't fumble through the
it would have been over.
Then the game would have been over a long time before that anyway. But so they really did get outplayed, and the Chiefs really did outplay them. They looked better. And Patrick Mahomes he's so good. He's insane, dude. He's insane.
It also helps that was the first time MVS decided to wake up and be like, oh yeah, shit, I'm a football player, huh?
MVS is him? Question?
No, absolutely not. No. He was a slightly upgraded version of MVS for one single game. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
2 clutch through. Okay, so Chris, I have it in text and writing. He promised me a 2-breath take on this whole thing.
That was
no. You promised.
That was when they lost.
It was a 2-breath take. A few thoughts, just to simplify, and I think Joey hit on this last week. We're watching greatness as far as those 2 teams playing each other. 50 million people watched that game. It was the highest divisional round playoff game ever. Unbelievable. So I think we should just enjoy kind of the history of Allen, Mahomes, Bills, Chiefs. Chiefs just happen to pull it off every time. But hey.
And it's just like that. Oh God, how nauseating and how painful to be a Buffalo Bills fan
year after year.
It is
oh my God, right?
Oh.
But Chiefs had a great game plan. No, I think one offensive line penalty the whole game. So the tackles who have been both very mediocre they played their hearts out. 0 sacks. Mahomes hasn't been sacked in 70 consecutive playoff dropbacks. Has not been sacked. 0 drop balls.
Watch out.
Hardman fucking fumbles twice when he touches the ball twice. I don't understand how that all happens either. So great game plan. They executed. I mean, Mahomes is he's Michael Jordan. He made 0 mistakes. He just balls. I want to talk more about the Bills, though. They had a game plan to win. Run the ball down their throat consistently. Something happened, and I read a stat. Since who's the OC? Joe Brady?
He's
since
the interim.
He took over,
he's the interim, but yeah.
Since he took over, Josh Allen had not passed for over 250 yards. He did it one time since Joe Brady took over. That tells me Joe Brady came in and said, Josh Allen has turned the ball over. He's making dumb mistakes, and we're losing football games because of it. So Joe Brady comes in, slaps a governor on Josh Allen. They go more to James Cook, a little bit underneath. Josh Allen runs a little bit more, a little less turnovers. They start winning games.
They won, 7 in a row?
6 in a row. 6 in a row because of this game plan. Okay, so they have this great game plan. Then you can see it around the 4-minute mark. They're driving down the field. It's all smooth. And then you can see them get in their own head. They're like, oh shit, 2 minutes left. If we score, Mahomes is going to get the ball with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, no, I know.
And then they were like, well, are we going to go for a touchdown? Are we going for a field goal? They got caught in their own brain trying not thinking about Mahomes. It was really weird.
They were afraid, bro, because they just know that they should have never have deviated from their game plan.
No, never. That's what I'm saying.
Never have stopped of just constant offense, constant movement. Let's go, keep going. When they slow down, you lose. And they should know that from all of their other games. They were afraid because of what the Chiefs have done to them in the past. They beat them with 13 seconds. 13 seconds. They just totally
got in their, but you could tell they got in their own head after they crossed pretty much when they got to that field goal spot, because they were running, they were pounding the ball, and then they let Josh Allen throw a bomb that he
should have been caught.
Oh
my
been.
God,
100%.
dude! Stephon Diggs. That was
I can't believe
that was
right his hands.
60 yards in the air, and it went right through his hands.
But he missed Diggs underneath because he like short armed that ball in the end zone. It was just weird. There's like 3 plays that Joe Brady blinked or McDermott blinked or out. They all blinked because I think they were just scared of Mahomes. And then they missed the field goal.
You know why he threw that? Because that was the exact same play that they went ahead of Kansas City last year when they threw it to Gabe Davis. That was the exact same route from the exact same spot. But the badass that Chris Jones is pushed Deion Dawkins,
like
who was an all-pro. He's an all-pro left tackle. Just, oh my God, that one play, just the mass of human that was just going against each other.
Just a couple of hack daddies.
The amount of body.
Whose chode is getting ripped by whom?
Oh, dude, if those two had to fight to the death, that would be the scariest thing that maybe has ever happened. Just watching that, like, oh my God.
A couple of rhinos fighting to the death.
But overall, it was an amazing game.
He pushed him into Josh Allen. That's why he short armed.
Yep.
So
and he caused him to kick it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame Tyler Bass, even though it was wide right. But just that little sequence, that drive, their butthole got tight. They started thinking about the sideline instead of playing their game, continuing to run it up the gut to get a chip shot of a field goal. As far as the Ravens Chiefs, it's the number 1 defense. It's the number 2 defense. The number 1 in sacks versus the number 2 in sacks. Mahomes is also, I think, 6-0 against when he plays number 1 defenses in the league in his career. Also, a fun fact is, what do you guys think his winning percentage is when he's down by 7 points or more in the playoffs?
More than 3%.
80%.
I think close.
His only 2 losses were to Brady.
Yeah, 80% winning percentage when he's down by a touchdown. Tom Brady is second with, I think, 21% winning percentage.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is now 13-3 in the playoffs in his career, more than Aaron Rodgers, which is freaking
nuts.
amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely so happy. It's more than Aaron Rodgers. And then 2 of his losses were against Brady. 0-2 against Brady, 13-1 against everybody else.
And he's 6 straight AFC championship appearances. The only games he's ever lost went to overtime. So the man's season never ends until overtime of the AFC championship. We're living in, I mean, you guys probably hate this, but
I do. Thank you.
This
for
is as good as it
that.
gets.
I mean, for a Chiefs fan, that's it. I mean, the thing Patrick Mahomes just looks like he's getting the shit kicked out of him, though. Every time he's running, he looks like he's limping, he's hurting, he can't do something. And it's just like, dude, you're only in your 6th year. Is he just gonna like get completely worn down because he's playing an extra 4 games than everybody else?
It's a LeBron thing, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Von Miller
LeBron's a
nosedive.
physical freak, but he doesn't. LeBron's just like the most physically gifted person I think that has ever walked this planet.
Yep.
He's just a stupid specimen.
Here it is. Patrick Mahomes versus number 1 ranked defense in his career. He averages 335 yards a game, 11 touchdowns, 6-0 record. So that's how I trick myself into thinking we got a chance. Also, my other stat was Josh Allen was 17-0 when he doesn't turn the ball over until last week. So Josh Allen did just about everything he could.
That was a heartbreaker. Yeah, I texted you
did
both
everything
saying that I want the tie. I want to see more of this game. I want the overtime. I want the story. And then when Bass pushed it, it's like, God dang. Like,
how did that happen?
It was a bad push, too.
As a football fan, I'm disappointed that it's over, right?
You can't blame it on the wind. The flags weren't moving. It was like that. He just
he just sailed it.
It was horrible.
Fully sailed it.
It's like, what the? Oh, come on. It's a 44-yarder, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You can make those. All right. Now, the real question isn't Patrick Mahomes for this game. The real question for this game is Lamar Jackson. Because I think the Baltimore's defense is good enough to give Lamar Jackson the opportunity to win the game. Because I think that Baltimore's defense was going to be able to. Okay, Travis Kelce, who knows? God, I mean, you think the guy's done, washed up, and then he comes out and has 2 touchdowns in this last game in hostile territory, just freaking dominates again.
Throw the heart up at him.
You
Let's
know,
go.
and it's just like, oh my God, who the hell knows? Rashee Rice is good and all that, but the linebackers for the Ravens are so
Patrick Queen is a boss.
awesome, and Roquan Smith is awesome. You know, and they can rush the passer, so they're not going to be able to run on them. They're not going to be able to run on them because those linebackers will kill you. So it's going to be.
But Pacheco likes to kill people too. It'll be very interesting.
He likes to step on throats. He is looking for spines to step on.
That game's going to be won in the trenches. Would you agree with that? It's going to be won in the trenches.
It will be. That's why it's going to be a Lamar Jackson game because he's going to run, and he's going to run a lot. You know, and so it's going to be, but we'll see if Zay Flowers can show up. We'll see if he can just get
Chiefs
a big.
have 2 all-pro corners. I'm really not worried about the receiving core.
And
But
we forget that Odell Beckham is on that team.
Whose receiving core's drops are going to be a bigger impact
That's true.
between the 2 of them because both of them have massive question marks with the fellas catching the ball.
Oh yeah,
and Mark Andrews might be back.
Really?
I think he was.
Oh my God,
he was practicing last week, and then
I didn't hear that. I thought he was done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited. I think
Isaiah Likely's good.
He's playing. He's balling.
Isaiah Likely's good. All right. So Cody, what's your confidence level?
After that game, I feel much better. We cleaned it up. We were tight. Very few mistakes.
Yeah.
And we beat Lamar
good.
Jackson.
They're so good.
We're playing with house money as a Chiefs fan. I mean, if you watch this season, we're just happy to be at the AFC Championship.
This is like the 18 Patriots. You know, like when they went in there and they just happened to go against the Rams and they're like, "This is it."
Yeah.
All right,
we beat Lamar before. I think Spags can. I think we can eliminate the pass game. Can we contain Lamar from running? And I think both teams. Who's going to make a mistake? It was the Bills and Chiefs. Who's going to blink? Really, they both blinked. But who's going to make the mistake and who's going to catch the interception? I don't know. I'm feeling better after that game, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I did mean to point it out. Congrats to listener Dakota on calling that Josh Allen would not have any interceptions in the postseason.
We laughed so hard at him.
He was right.
Did he say turn? I mean, he fumbled it. He should have fucking. If they just pick up the ball.
No interceptions.
But
he also said en route to a Super Bowl win. So that's an important second half of that sentence, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's playing 2 fewer games than Dakota expected.
Than the rest. Lions 49ers. Any final thoughts, boys?
It's going to be a good game. I think the Lions are going to take it. I think the Lions are going to be able to pressure Brock Purdy enough to where he's going to choke. I think Christian McCaffrey's going to have a fantastic game. I think George Kittle's going to pop up here and there, but I don't know if Debo is going to be effective. And when Debo doesn't go, that team doesn't run. And God, I want to see it so bad. So that's probably just my heart and my soul coming out here. Just I want to see Dan Campbell biting kneecaps in the Super Bowl. It would just be that. Oh my God, freaking Chiefs! Just again.
6 years in a row. If Pat Mahomes starts in the NFL, he is at the AFC Championship. 6 years starting, 6 AFC Championship.
This is so crazy because I'm experiencing this from the other side now, and I'm like, God, I hate them. And when I was a Patriots fan, I'm like, why does anybody hate us?
He's outpacing Brady and everything.
Why is everyone so mean?
Why is everybody so mean?
Why is everybody so mean? I just want to wear my jersey.
Also, shout out to Kelsey and Pat for passing Brady and Gronk. That was kind of cool, too, on touchdowns for a duo.
But not from that was fun.
That'll do it for the sports talk.
Music break time.
All right, boys. Squeeze of the week. Normally, this segment we give to the listeners or one of these 3 morons for their most outlandish take. As Chris got to listen in his film review, there's a lot of outlandish takes in our first 25 episodes.
So many. Oh, my God.
We're not just trying to be outlandish just to be outlandish. So some weeks, the boys may not have any, or we may have any listener-submitted ones. That is one of these weeks. So let's keep moving right along. Joey.
Wait a second. Instead of moving along, I want to fill this time for 1 second to shout out the all-time greatest Rocky going to the Hall of Fame today. Todd Helton, congratulations.
He got
Todd Helton finally got elected to the Hall of Fame.
Fan of the show.
That's badass.
He made it. The Colorado Rockies now have 2 Hall of Famers. One of my all-time favorite players. He had one of the greatest statistical seasons in the history of Major League Baseball. And where he almost hit 400, hit over 40 RBIs, 150 RBIs, 40 home runs. he was an absolute machine, a freak of nature for so long. And then once his power went, he still maintained to be a phenomenal defensive first baseman and leader for the team. Won the pennant in 2007. All-time great dude. Congrats, Todd Helton.
Hell of a mugshot.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Fantastic. Hell of a
Also-
mugshot. Nice way to throw that in there, Cody. But, yeah.
You said such a great guy. I had to throw it out there.
Hey, he got a Dewey going from Peyton Manning's house to go buy a can of dip. All right, so
Is that right?
that's what it was. He left
How do
Peyton.
you know that?
He was partying with Peyton Manning and Brandon Stokely at Peyton's house.
And he had to go get a dip? Is that
He
what-
went to go get a can of chew and got a DUI. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Also, shout out to Adrian Beltre, obviously Joe Mauer, all elected to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Joe Mauer was one of my.
He
Oh,
was a
he was
baller.
so awesome.
He was so
man.
good.
And Adrian Beltre, one of the most underrated players of all time. 3,000 hits that guy had, and it played an unbelievable third base. So yeah, just a
Great
really
bat.
good Hall of Fame class this year. I'm really happy about it. I think that they got it right. That's awesome.
Anyway, Joey, if people want to submit their squeezes of the week for next week, how do they do so?
Listeners, I love saying "zuh" now. Listeners,
Ooh.
you can submit your most outlandish sports takes by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. That is juiceboyshow@gmail.com. Or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow with 2 S's.
That's
And
an
if
old
it
joke,
has
too.
the bulb,
Oh, that's a very old
I
joke.
don't know. Maybe people are like, what the hell are they talking about?
Probably.
So Juice Boys Show with 2 S's. And if it has the pulp, then we'll read it on the show. Grass! Who's
Yeah,
sponsoring
buddy.
today's stat of the day?
It's been a
back.
while.
It's back. Stat of the
Oh.
day is back. Chris, who's sponsoring it?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time of the year where your 2024 presidential race begins to heat up as sycophants and the elderly compete for your vote. And the candidate for you is Joey Linehan, who has promised to triple his efforts after a sprousing result in the Iowa caucus
Sprouse.
of 2 whole votes, one from Theo the cat
Yes.
and another from someone named Loey Ginahan. Yes, future President
lad.
Juice Boy Joe has dedicated himself to living in his own reality wherein he has already locked up the presidency. And in doing so, Joey has begun making cabinet picks, which are sure to instill patriotism in even the most commie-loving Boulderites. First, Joey has announced he has already picked his vice president. So, folks, say hello to Vice President Rob Gronkowski,
Oh, yes. Let's do this.
whom Joey met and fell in love with after a night out in Oakland.
They survived. Is that what happened?
They sure
People
did.
survive. I would make some good
Secret
friends.
Service had their backs. Also, Joey has chosen his press secretary, Randy Johnson.
What a cat.
Joey
No
has
one's gonna
promised
mess
to
with him.
supply Randy with a bucket of presidential baseballs to throw at any reporter who decides to ask a stupid question. And
Yes,
last,
Yes.
As he should.
Joey has
keep the
promised
bucket
to
right
make
there.
It, and last, Joey has promised to make it federally illegal to root for the New York Jets, a team he promises that will be held responsible for their many, many crimes against humanity.
Oh, of course. And all the wasted time I had to spend sharing oxygen.
So, as you ready yourself to head to your nearest polling station this fall, remember to vote Joey Linehan. Because if you don't, Randy Johnson will throw baseballs at you.
That'll be an executive order. Yeah.
Joey, I need you to hit me with a line.
Listeners, I am Joey Linehan, and I approve that message.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Take a swig.
Go vote, everyone.
All right, guys, we're moving into our big potato. This is, of course, our big topic of the day where we have the mostest funnest of the whole show.
Most is funds.
Here we go. As
Every week.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes supposedly have a rivalry.
Yeah, a little bit, I'd say.
Here's what I wish I could take this credit for this, but Nick Wright, big Chief, national guy, big Chiefs fan.
Oh my God, you like Nick Wright?
How do you
I
not
hate
like
that
Nick Wright
so
as a Chiefs
much. I
fan? Are
hate
you
him
serious? Of course you
so
do. Why would you?
Much. I hate him. Oh my God, he is coming up there to pass my hatred of Joe Flacco. Oh my God.
He made a great
Would you
point.
guys mind pretending that I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about?
He's a dipshit who just thinks that Nikola Jokic is a bad player, and he trashes him constantly. Every time he talks about him, he puts his foot in his mouth, and he's an idiot, Cody.
I wouldn't say that. He was also a local KC radio guy forever, and then he was, I think Colin Cowherd kind of discovered him, and now he's on Fox Sports and all that stuff.
Listen, anyway. Send in your takes on Nick Wright. I want to see how this goes down. Anybody who's not a Kansas City fan, I want to hear your words on Nick Wright.
We love Nick Wright, but he had a great thing. You know, when Brady and Manning, they had a real rivalry. Manning had the MVPs, Brady had the rings. With Josh Allen and Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes has the rings and the MVPs. Josh Allen has literally nothing.
No,
he has the not Kermit voice.
Unfortunately,
I think
you're right.
You're right.
I just talked right over that and didn't hit it processed as I was talking. That is the big victory for him, though. I mean, that voice is so bad, dude. It's so bad.
He's doing all right. He's got $500 million. He's all right.
He's doing great. Man, he's not doing all right. He's doing great.
He's doing fine.
All right. Now, unfortunately, him losing this game, I think that that really hurts that rivalry. Mm-hmm. That really hurts that rivalry. He needed to win this postseason game.
Yeah,
and it's just now I don't even know if you can count it. I mean, as
that's what I'm saying. But because of that, and it was such an epic game, and we do love watching that. We want to do a big potato on best player individual rivalries. This is fun.
Hell yeah,
Chris.
Very starchy potato.
You started off, sir.
Oh, am I leading
this is
off?
yours. Take it away.
Fellas, for my first pick, I had to go Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield.
The ear?
Dude, that's fantastic. That was on my list. I love it.
Boys.
Love it.
Now, they only fought twice.
That's it?
And I know what you're saying.
I know. Isn't that insane?
Why did they only fight twice?
Because the guy can't hear.
I'll get to that. So we're going back to 1996. These two are the biggest names in boxing, really just across all of the 90s. Going into fight number one, Tyson was 45-1 with 39 knockouts. Holyfield, a respectable 32-3 with 23 knockouts. Both of these were absolute hack daddies, just bruisers. I mean, just insane. So Tyson is carrying the heavyweight championship belt and is a 5-1 favorite to win. And instead, throughout the fight, Tyson finds himself down on the mat multiple times, over and over again, comes barely limping into round 11, at which point Holyfield put him on his ass one more time, and the ref stopped the fight, gave Holyfield the win. Holyfield is now the third time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world after he was expected to have been kind of quote unquote washed up. Fast forward a year, and it's 1997, and it's rematch time.
I was 10. I remember this. I watched it.
Cody was just a young pup. Holyfield still has the heavyweight title. This is billed as the fight of the year, obviously, the rematch between these two.
Probably the decade, right?
That's why I watched it at 10 years old.
So once again, Holyfield jumps out to an early 2-round lead. And then in the waning seconds of the third round, Holyfield got Tyson into a clinch, which Tyson took as an advantageous opportunity to take a big old bite out of Evander Holyfield's ear.
A big bite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Took a big old chunk out of Holyfield's ear. And I don't know, Joey.
Hold on. Did everyone hear that? Did everyone young enough hear that? His ear.
Yeah. All you young
out of his ear.
You like young juice junkies.
Like an apple.
Look at his ear.
It's horrifying.
It's unbelievable. He bit a chunk.
Go watch when it happens. He starts jumping around and screaming because a man just bit off his ear. And you know what the response was? Is that he was fine to continue the fight. They sent him back out there, and the fight resumed.
The fight continued.
The fight continued until in another clinch, Tyson bit his other fucking ear. At which point in time, they decided to call the fight.
Oh my God.
I don't think I knew the second ear.
Yep.
Did he get a
had-
piece of it, or did he just attempt
No,
at it?
the second one he just
Attempted ear bite.
Yeah, it was a.
A
He
nibble.
didn't get a chunk, but he got enough to where Holyfield starts jumping up and down, screaming again, and the ref calls the fight, and Tyson's trainer is like, "That's bullshit." Like it was accidental.
You were eating the man.
He tries to say that it was accidental and coincidental to the fight, and that it was a bad.
You wear
call.
mouthpieces. How did he do that?
Oh
You
yeah,
have to check that you're wearing the mouthpiece. You know.
That was the other thing is there's potentially some, thought that it was purposeful because Tyson tried to go out in the third round without a mouthpiece.
Oh,
The ref sent him back to his corner and told him to put his mouthpiece in.
Whoa.
little conspiracy.
And so a neat little end to this story. These two have since made amends, and now they jointly sell weed treats in the shape of an ear.
That is real. I know that
That
he
is
has
a real, actual
massive
product that
He
exists.
has a massive cannabis line. I mean, it's
Please
insane.
sponsor us. Oh my God, we could talk about this every week. Mike, we love you.
Oh, dude,
Been
what a pick! I'm
Oh.
so bummed because I had that on my list. Damn it!
Chris
Oh,
starting
dude.
hot. Joey, beat it.
Hot show.
Hot.
Such a hot show. Any comments on your twig and berries today, Cody, about the hot show?
In my throat. So fucking cold.
Still there.
All right. Well, my first one is going to come out as of left field here, and it's good because I think this is the most bizarre thing that has ever happened in the history of sports.
Why is it always
And
left
I'm gonna-
field?
and I'm gonna
just
go
derail
with-
that.
No,
Why is it always left field?
Left field's a very
What's
important
wrong with right field?
position. Yeah, I'm going to come from second base. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Or
yeah,
right
anyway.
field.
Holy shit, where'd that come from?
Okay, so for my first pick, I'm just going to go obvious here, and I have to say the greatest feud of all time, which is what anybody who's going against Patrick Mahomes is going to try to be at this level, whether it's against Joe Burrow, whether it's against maybe Lamar Jackson after this weekend, maybe Josh Allen will get it together again and they'll continue that for their career. But no two players in NFL history had a better rivalry than Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I know at that point, I know I'm going to say shocker. I'm going to say shocker.
But it was so good at the time.
But it was just so good. All right. So from the year 2000 to the year 2015, they only didn't play 3 times. All right. That's it. They played every single season, whether it was regular season or postseason, and they were not in the same division. Actually, they were the first 2 years, but back when the Colts were in the AFC East before they switched and they had 4 divisions. And then that's how long these two were dominating the NFL and how long that they were being competitive. Tom Brady's first win as a starter was an ass kicking of Peyton Manning. 44-13 or something is his first start, week 3 of the 2001 season after Bledsoe got hurt. So all in all, they played 17 times. All right, they played 17 times. Brady was 11-6 against him, 8-4 against the Colts, 3-2 against the Broncos. So he held the all-time record. But what made this such an incredible rivalry is that in the playoffs, Peyton Manning was 3-2 against him. Peyton Manning went 3-1 against him in AFC Championship games. All right, so
Dang,
all
I
3
forgot
Super
about that.
Bowls that Peyton Manning went to, he beat Tom Brady to get there. All right, so that's a pretty incredible feat. All right, actually he went to 4 Super Bowls. So, but I digress. Okay, to this day, that domination of football for 20 years with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, I don't know if that rivalry at that high level of play and that level of competitiveness will ever be matched. I don't know, because if I don't know if either of them would have been as good if it wasn't for the two of them, pushing each other, because they knew every single year was going to come down to them two in the AFC Championship game. Every single year was going to come down to a big game between the two of them. I remember I was at the Broncos Patriots game several times in Denver, and just the whole everything changed when he got there, and it was just an unbelievable feeling just seeing the two titans and these. I loved it.
Listen, Joey
rivalry
has a
sports
boner just talking about that.
history. Greatest rivalry in sports history will never
Put
be
it away,
matched.
Joe.
I miss it.
Please don't.
Oh, I did love it so much. And also, I don't think a lot of people know the NFL schedule making. The division winners always play each other the next season. That's how they create parity in the schedule.
Yeah.
And so that's why Josh Allen and Mahomes always play currently in the next season. That's why Brady and Manning always play in the regular season. And it's just a little genius thing
I
by
don't
the
think Brady
NFL.
ever lost the AFC East.
No, and the Colts never really had a ton of.
Maybe one time in 2002.
All right, guys, I'm
That's
gonna
it.
introduce a new sport to us.
Oh, please do.
Never been talked about on this podcast
Cricket?
before.
That's what
Close.
I was going to guess.
Close. Little tennis. Little tennis.
Uh,
I'm going to go with Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer.
okay.
Great call.
I like it.
It's a great call. I don't have a lot of insight
Yeah, like
on it.
I know about it. I don't know about it though, right?
All I know is it was so good that it got me interested in tennis when they would go up against each other.
Yeah, I would watch it.
Huge sports center segments.
Yeah.
It was a highlight. It was prime time. They went up against each other. Where is it at? 40 times, I believe. Nadal was 24. It was 24 wins for Federer. No,
16?
Nadal, 24. 24 and 16 was the record. So
Nadal had
led
the
it.
record. Wow.
Yep. Nadal beat him. They had a few matches that went 4.5 hours,
Oh my
5 hours
God.
long, between two dudes. Talk about an unstoppable force meets a immovable object. Just two guys grinding at
That's
the peak of
incredible.
their career. 2008 Wimbledon final, 2017 Australian final was 4.5 hours. 2009 Australian Open, 4.5 hours.
Oh my God.
I mean, I know nothing about tennis, but all I know is it caught my eye as a teenager, as a kid, and just watching greatness, them going at each other over and over for many, many years. And then last few years, they actually played doubles together because they were both, Federer was retiring, and it brought them both to tears. They're both best friends. But I don't know if we'll ever see a kind of one-on-one rivalry in tennis again. And it brought interest to me. So I thought I'd change it up a little bit, introduce a sport to this.
Oh yeah.
God,
Look
for
at you
second
raising the
podcast.
bar on all of our behalf.
Yeah. Sports moron got a sports moron. That's
I
Sometimes.
love it.
no insight on tennis whatsoever, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Other than that it was cool. Yeah, it was neat.
Watching greatness.
Yeah, fellas, I always like to have some sort of unifying theme or some sort of approach here. And the theme of today is unexpected assaults.
Oh, no.
Once
I think
again,
I know where it's going.
once again,
unexpected
we're
assault.
heading to the mid 1990s, an era
Big era of
where
assault.
figure skating champions were gods among mere mortals.
Another
and
new
two-
sport for this podcast.
And two
skating.
of the very best were Tanya Harding and
Oh,
Nancy
yes.
Kerrigan.
So we're not going to get your insight on figure skating? Is that what?
You're gonna
Just
get
trust
my-
them. They're the best.
You're going to get my insight on one story around figure skating.
Okay.
And if you would shut up and listen, you would hear it.
Proceed.
All right. So early in their careers, these two regularly went head to head. Harding edged out Kerrigan twice in the international championships early in the 90s. They just kind of were always, top one, top two, top three. One over the other, kind of going back and forth. Both coming into their primes, rolling into 1994. Where Kerrigan is the sole competitor, potentially standing between Harding and a spot on the U.S. Olympic team. And
Yeah.
Harding's ex-husband, a dude whose name I'm excited to get to say, Jeff Gillooly, conspired,
Mr. Gluey.
Mr. Gillooly to a lowlife like me, conspired with her bodyguard and a hitman named Shane Stant to ensure,
Ooh.
to
That's a cool
ensure
name.
that path between Harding and the Olympics was nice and clear. And so the night before the U.S. National Figure Skating Championships, Stant assaulted Kerrigan by hitting her knee with a collapsible baton. One of those big
Lordy.
steel riot
Like one of those?
patrol. Yeah. Hit her in the knee, knocking her out of the national championships, ushering in Harding's win. And the rest is history, so they say.
Why?
The whole thing was, the whole thing was caught on tape. So the hitman is quickly arrested, who then gives up the bodyguard, who then gives up Galooly, who then doesn't quite give up Harding. She's the only one of the four of them that didn't wind up serving jail time, but she did wind up being found guilty in the conspiracy to assault Kerrigan. Both of the two of them actually wound up making the Olympics anyway. And Kerrigan wound up, I think, getting second. And Harding screwed up, dropped the ball, and wound up falling to seventh.
Yeah, she fell.
Yep.
After all this, she fell. And what did Tanya Harding do with the rest of her life? Oh, she got into amateur porn and then got on to celebrity boxing. Great job, Tanya. Good
Leave
for
it to Joey.
Classy gal. Classy
for
gal.
you.
Of course, Joey's the one who's done more research on my potato than me. He's just a man who knows his stuff.
Hey, that's just common knowledge.
Or maybe he just stumbled upon some of the arts. Who knows? Anyway,
her on celebrity boxing, that was such trash. It was so freaking disgusting.
Chick's got to make a buck. Joey, number 2.
All right. So, listener, I'm going to be honest. Chris had both of those were on my list.
We love the honesty.
And I was trying to be funny with two of them, and then he stole my funny. All right. And so I got to be for reals again, and just go for reals with the other best rivalry in the history of sports, and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. All right. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson saved the NBA. At the time when they were trying everything to boost the fandom, they were trying to merge the two, the NBA and the ABA together. The Boston Celtics were just absolutely dominating in the 60s. 70s was kind of a rough patch for the NBA. And then here comes Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, where their rivalry started in college.
Mm-hmm.
All right, started in college, where Larry Bird took the Illinois State. Indiana State. Sorry. Oh, man. People from Indiana are going to be pissed.
Larry will kick your ass.
Those Hoosiers are going to be pissed. Sorry. I'm sorry, Larry.
The Hoosier State.
Indiana State. All right. Which was an absolute nothing. No. And they still, to this day, have never been.
They had a few years of something and there's been nothing.
This dude was so good, brought them to the national championship game, played against Magic Johnson in Michigan State, and this is where the rivalry started, when Magic beat him in the most, still to this day, like per capita, like adjusted, or whatever you say, adjusted by inflation with how people, with our population has grown, was the most watched national championship in the history of college basketball.
Oh, wow.
All right. And so Magic Johnson becomes #1 pick. Larry Bird gets picked by the Celtics the next year. All right. So the entire time, everybody is just waiting for this ultimate like showdown between the Lakers and the Celtics. The Lakers won in Magic Johnson's rookie season in 1980. They won the finals, but they beat the Sixers. All right. The next year, the Lakers lose to the Rockets. All right. And then the Celtics beat the Rockets. The year after that, the Celtics lose to the Sixers and the Lakers beat the Sixers in the finals. The year after that, the Lakers make it. The Sixers win again. Then finally, 5 years into this, it starts. All right. And then the head-to-head matchups of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson begin in the finals. And in 1984, 7 games, Boston wins. Next year, 6 games, the Lakers win. All right. The Rockets somehow were able to sneak in there in 1986, right? And the Celtics beat the Rockets. 87, 6 games, the Lakers win. All right. So there was just, it was constant who is going to get there, who is going to better each other. And every single time it was competitive. It was there. They ended up going in there. 19 games, regular season games. Larry Bird went 8-11 against Magic Johnson. All right, and then in the finals, in the finals, Magic Johnson ended up sneaking it out against him 3-2. All right.
Oh man.
But so But what they did, they paved the way for people like Michael Jordan to come in and start to become a household name, because at the time they were the big ones. They had the Converse shoe deal. You watch the movie Air, everything was about these two guys. And then it made basketball cool and interesting again. When back before Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, the NBA Finals is on tape delay. Right, that wasn't even live.
The first chunk of like early '80s, a lot of the Magic stuff, and it was taped.
These two dudes electrified the country, electrified the world. I never actually saw Larry Bird play a game, because he retired when I was 4, because he only played 11 seasons and his back gave out. Unfortunately, do you know how his back gave out? He was such a country boy that he threw out his back shoveling his mother's driveway, and he never recovered.
Damn.
It wasn't even playing. He threw it out. He threw it out shoveling his mom's driveway.
Gotta use your legs.
He's just a country boy from Indiana.
Wearing nothing but cowboy boots and Daisy Dukes.
Yeah. Huge Larry Bird fan, huge Magic Johnson fan. You know, what made the rivalry the best is they ended up becoming lifelong friends. When Magic had to retire because of HIV, Larry Bird was there. And he was all like, they started bitter rivals, ended up great friends still to this day. Great story. Outstanding. Second best rivalry in sports behind Brady and Manning.
And they both came back for the Dream Team. Like, because Larry Bird's back was out.
Larry Bird said that he wouldn't do it if they wouldn't allow Magic to play, because he had the HIV.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Love it.
All right, well, I'm gonna go.
Not funny, but that's a lot of backstory there, a lot of history.
But what a great story.
I'm gonna wrap us up with the original Magic and Larry. No one brought this up. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, Wilt and Bill. Yeah.
Jeez, they played close to 100 times, guys. I didn't know that.
God, that's nuts.
How many teams were there at the time, though, you know?
That's true. Bill Russell won.
Yeah, there's only 4 teams. They're playing each other every other week.
Yeah.
No, it was more than 4. Bill won the head-to-head 57-37 in that 100 times. They played, 80 times in the playoffs. And Bill Russell won that 29-20.
They did what?
Yeah,
they played 80
or 60
times in the Oh my Lord.
They played a lot. Let's see. Overall stats, Wilt averaged 30. So that's crazy. We talk about Bill and Russell. Bill, one of the greatest defenders of all time. Wilt still averaged 30 points a game.
He's an animal.
Still, that's incredible.
He's
an
still
animal.
Like we talk, because Bill Russell gets he won all the games and stuff, but like, did he really slow Wilt Chamberlain down?
No, I mean, I guess, yeah.
30's a slow night for Wilt,
50,
isn't it?
Yeah, when he was averaging 50, he's holding him to 30. That's some great defense.
That's true. So imagine this: Russell averaged 22 rebounds, Wilt averaged 22.9 rebounds. So imagine them playing the game. Like every rebound is going to Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain. If you even tried to get in the paint to get a rebound, you're going to get an elbow to the dick.
Just punch you in the face.
Yeah.
They're going to bite your ear off.
They're going to punch your ear off.
There's no 3 in the key. Just come on in here. Let's go.
Don't even try. Obviously, Bill won 11 championships. Wilt only won 2, so he got the last laugh there. All-NBA, Bill was 11. Wilt was 10. First team All-NBA, Wilt was 7. Bill was 3. Bill had 5 MVPs. Wilt had 4. Talk about 2 dudes the NBA was an upstart league. You had to have stars. And these guys, going at it.
Set the world on fire.
When they started, when they started, I was right. They had 8. There's 8 teams. And then when Russell ended his career, there was 12. So that's why they played so much.
Also, Bill Russell played 45 minutes. Wilt played 47. So they both got 1 breather a game.
Oh, my God.
Like
this series, just right now. Yeah.
Like,
you get 1 whistle.
When Wilt goes out, Bill goes out. So I would just love to see, I'd love to be in the stands just watching those 2 in their prime.
Yeah, honorable mentions. I was going to pick this, but you picked boxing. I was going to say Ali Frazier.
That was on my list.
Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. I've gone back and watched all 3 of those fights, and they are absolutely incredible. And this rivalry was so bad that they never reconciled. They never did. Until Joe Frazier died in 2011, Muhammad Ali went to his funeral, but he never forgave him for the trash talk that he said. He called him an Uncle Tom. He said all these horrific things about him to try to get into his head. And then what did Joe Frazier do? Beat him in their first match. It was supposed to be the match of the century. Then, of course, Ali won the last two, so Ali was 2-1 against him. That's just incredible that they never reconciled. They never got over it. That's
Frazier.
Sad. It's insane. Said that Muhammad Ali said that he was the best boxer who ever lived besides himself, of course. Of course. And then my other one I thought for honorable mention that would be fun. There was other baseball guys out there. One of my favorite ones growing up was Roger Clemens and Mike Piazza. All right, Clemens and Mike Piazza absolutely hated each other. And every single time they got up to bat, both of them were just waiting to. I think Clemens was thinking, how can I legally kill this man with this baseball? Where can I put it so where people think I messed up and it's going to beat him right in the temple? All right. And he did it. And he knocked him out cold. Right. And he was out there. You ever see that clip when he's done? Then he comes back and he starts blinking, and then Piazza had to miss the All-Star game because of that. So the next at bat that they get after this is in the World Series, the Subway Series of the year 2000, which was incredible. This is back when, man, I was 13. I was so freaking into baseball. And watch him they come up there and he brushes him. He goes inside, brushes him off the plate. Then he goes inside again, saws him off. The bat breaks, goes right towards Clemens. What does Clemens do? Takes it and hucks the bat at him as he's walking by. I mean, it was just the bench is clear, just absolute in mayhem. Oh man, those guys. They hated each other, and when you have a baseball at your ability, it's
as Roger Clemens or as Randy Johnson knows,
it is scary.
You can take life. Fun fact before we wrap this up: did you know Darryl Strawberry slept with a prostitute in between innings?
What? How is that something that's known?
I would not doubt that.
Fun fact for all you listeners.
That's such a shame.
How is that?
I mean, it's not poor guy. What am I saying? But just like what waste of talent. I mean, holy crap, he was outstanding. But
what a way to end the segment. That's my favorite fun fact of all fun facts.
What I mean, you go back and watch that 30 for 30 on the 86
It was
Mets.
nuts.
What a shit show that team was, dude. Oh my god, they were all just doing cocaine, just like in the
rivalry was Mets versus drugs,
and then they had coffee instead of water because they were all coming down off the crank. I was like,
oh my god,
they were drinking coffee in the dugout because they were all just like freaking out because they're coming down off all the coke.
Everybody's just vibrating.
It's insane. Well, no wonder they were just smashing home runs. Just,
If the buzz lines up with your at bat, watch out.
All right, juice junkie friends. Remember, you can listen to the podcast on all major podcast networks, including, now, I'm going to say Google.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you hear that? Google Podcast is going away.
Okay. There's that. What?
Google Podcast is going away.
Oh, my God.
Because no one listens on that.
It's going to turn into some YouTube thing. Anyway, but as of now, if you listen to us on Google Podcast, continue to listen to us.
Yeah, move somewhere.
But
go somewhere else that exists.
Listen to it on there. You can also listen to it on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. So try those, okay? If you're enjoying the show, consider following and rating the show. Leave us a review if you listen through Apple. We encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, be a friend, tell a friend about the podcast, and follow us on Instagram at Juice Boys Show with 2 S's.
Nailed it.
Cody.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Back to you, buddy.
That just about does it. Chris, who is sponsoring this week's picks? And what are we doing for this week's picks?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, fellas, today's picks are brought to you by Getting Drunk on a Boat.
Oh, the best place to get drunk.
We've done many times.
Yes.
We have. Now, listener, it's the dog days of winter, and I know we're fresh off the great freeze of 2024, but I want you to close your eyes and take a journey with me. A journey to a better time. The sun is high. It's warm. You're wearing that bitchin' who farted tank top you bought at a gas station.
It's not January.
And you're with your buddies getting drunk on a boat. Now you may be getting hammed as you float on a motorless fishing rig, or getting blackout and falling off a cruise ship never to be seen again.
Jeez.
But getting drunk on a boat is your premier summertime destination as you start to plan for the coming months. Getting drunk on a boat is the tippity-top best way to spend your warmer days, because anytime you're getting drunk on a boat, you're in international waters where things like blood alcohol laws don't exist.
Come on. You jump in the water, it's all gone.
Exactly.
You pee it out.
So tip another one back as you channel your inner Jack Sparrow, because you're getting drunk on a boat.
Fun fact, or let's go stat of the day. How many people lost at sea per year?
On what?
1,800.
On what? Just in general?
Yeah.
Just across the entire world.
Mhm.
How many
Lost at
people
sea.
are lost at sea? Oh, dude, it's got to be in the thousands. It
Okay.
has to be.
Chris said 1,800 real quick.
All right,
I pulled that out of my butt because that's the number of Super Bowl parking lot babies that Joey guessed once upon a time.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to get morbid here. Are we talking about migrants
Throwback.
too? Talking about anybody who's that just dies in the ocean? Because if that's the case, it could be like
you're already asking
30,000.
questions Cody was
Yeah.
not prepared to answer. He had a number ready, and that was
I
it.
had a single number, and then we're moving on.
30,000.
Chris, you win. 2,000. Poor
I
souls.
was
get
way
lost
off
at sea.
again. I'm
close.
so bad at anything that
Joey,
comes
once
to
again.
rational numbers.
Listener, anytime Joey gives an answer, just know it's going to be a factor of 10 off of
Yeah.
what the actual.
All right. How are we doing the picks this week? Christopher, how we do last week?
Did either one of you pay attention to how you did?
I
No.
think I did okay.
One of
No.
you did. One
I
of
think
you
I
did
took the
quite
lead.
well.
Oh shit.
One
Is
of you
this
did
it?
not so well.
Is this it?
No,
this the
no,
moment?
did I just blew all that?
So the Wheel of Degeneracy got themselves a 1 and 2.
Dude, this wheel sucks. This wheel is not good. I thought it'd be at least 50.
Wheel of Degeneracy is 25 and 28, so it's about exactly 50-50.
Not doing bad.
That's not
It's doing
50.
better
For
than
the
Chris.
spin
It's
of a
doing
wheel,
better
they're
than
doing
Chris.
better than me.
Chris.
Dr. Pulp went 1 and 2, which brings him up to a sprousing 2 and 4 on the season.
For him.
Because last time he went 0 for. I went and listened to that one. I went 2 and 1, which is great.
Oh, good
Hey,
job, buddy.
Chris, buddy.
Yeah,
Nice
hell
job.
yeah!
Nice
Finally,
job.
finally above 50%
Nice job.
in garbage time. But
Let's get
hey,
to the big boys. What do we got?
Cody went 3 and 0,
Oh, suck a bag of dicks.
and Joey,
Dude.
you went 1 and 2.
Oh, thank
he
God
blinked.
I got one.
Oh, he
thank
blinked.
God I got one.
Joey.
Okay.
Cody's got a 2-win lead on the Sultan the Sift.
Oh,
So, fellas, here's what we're doing this week.
Awful.
Ready to know about what we're doing this week? Why don't you tell me
Let's do
that you're
it.
ready to know what we're doing this week? All right. So, dear listener, we have only 2 games this week, which leaves us with a total of 8 potential picks. Which, between the fact that there are 3 morons, means that doesn't work.
We double check the math too.
We did. We sifted it. We sproused it, and
There's one more than 8.
yep.
Yeah, we did it. That's
And so instead, this week, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do our regular over-unders and spread picks. And then we're each going to pick an over-under for passing yards for one of the 4 quarterbacks.
I like it. I like it. Okay.
So on the Wheel of Degeneracy, we already have the Chiefs at Ravens game, obviously. We've got the Lions at 49ers. And we've got Brock Purdy. What are
does
we
that
thinking,
mean?
boys?
I'm taking Chiefs plus 3.5. I just got to ride with the boys. And Pat he's going to keep it close. I really don't know how he's going to pull it off, but it'll hopefully stay a close game. If they lose, it'll be close. Go Chiefs.
All right, I'm going Lions plus 7. All right, that's I think it's
No,
gonna be
you're not.
close.
What was the order again? How did you do last
Joey,
week?
you're dead last.
But I'm
did you do
second
last week?
overall.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, Chris.
no, I want that game.
Give me the Detroit Lions +7.
No. You son of a- no.
Pick better next time, Joe.
You know what? 44.5 is extremely low. I'm taking the over 44.5 in Kansas City, Baltimore.
I'm going to take the under on the 49ers Lions game. 51 is the number I got. That defense is going to blow up.
I'll go ahead and go under 44.5 for Ravens Chiefs.
Under? You're crazy.
He likes the D.
Those are two very legit defenses.
I'm not even taking the spread. I'm going Baltimore money line, baby. Baltimore is going to win this game.
Baltimore is favored, so you will be taking the spread.
I don't want to.
Well, what do you want?
Fine.
Sorry, they're not getting points. They're giving points.
Say,
So
Joe
you're
wants
gonna
the
win.
easier bet.
I know, but I want the easier. Yeah, they're going to win the game. So, all right, -3.5 Baltimore. Whatever, bro. Come on now. Let's
how
go.
this works. All right, QB picks.
I'm going to
we
take
got
Patrick
here, boys?
Mahomes over 240 just because he's my boy. He's going to sling the pill. No drops. Second half, he's going to have to ball out. Bring it home, Pat. Bring it home where the Super Bowl belongs.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Goff over 261.5.
That's
high. Damn.
a
It's a
lot.
tall order.
And, dude, how is Brock Purdy's line 274?
Whoa.
That's insane.
Is
I'm
it
taking
really?
Brock Purdy under 274.
Oh, that's a lot.
That
Throw the
is
mortgage on.
unbelievable.
I don't believe it.
What are you talking about? He's not going to throw for 275. Again, no. I mean, I know the Lions' pass defense isn't very good, but I mean, come on, give him some cred.
All right, so Wheel of Degen, as always, we've got over, we've got under, we've got home spread, we've got away spread, and we've got Joey takes a shot. We're back to
it's
we're
back to that?
Boy Joe.
Back to me?
Let's see what we got here. So let's take a spin.
Ooh.
All right, over for Chiefs Ravens, which puts us at over 44.5. Next
Points.
up
Let's
for
go points.
Lions
Let's go points.
49ers. What do we got going on here? Wheel of Degen. Under 51.
Points.
And last for old Brock Purdy. Let's see what we got going on for old Brock. All right, over 274.
Oh,
Half
that's
for Brock.
not gonna hit. That is not
That
gonna
is
hit.
so many yards for him.
A lot of yards.
All right, boys. Just like that, we've got our wheels spun. We've got our selections made. Joey, you got 2 weeks left to make up a two-way.
What am I gonna bet on the Pro
you
Bowl?
think?
What the hell are
do
we
you think?
talking about?
Well, you've got this weekend, and then we're bringing it back for the Super Bowl.
We'll find three.
Don't
Oh
you
man, I
worry.
can do some prop bets.
Don't you worry. I've already got that planned out. You two just sit back and keep being the talent, the brains of the operation. It's sure to derail between now and the Super Bowl anyway.
You know what? Do you guys know what else is derailed?
I don't even know what you're going to be able to say regarding the end of the show here. What the train?
Just generally, we've derailed this.
We've derailed the show and it's over.
It's
We
done.
crashed. We burned.
We really, really fizzled out there.
Sure did.
26 episodes in the books, guys.
In the
Half a year.
fellas.
If
Yeah,
this was a
that's half
baby,
a
we'd have a
year's worth.
6-month-old shitting and pooping and throwing up. And
Oh
I
yeah,
do
the
all
show
of those things right off the bat, actually, in case you don't know.
oh,
there's 52 weeks.
I know who does the heavy lifting in your house, McCoy.
dang, guys, we're just cruising right along. Half a year.
Oh my God, I can't. Yeah,
What a
that's
blessing for
that's
me
nuts.
and my two brothers-in-law. Appreciate you both.
Right.
And we appreciate all the listeners, all the Juice Junkies.
Yeah, shout out to
We
the
get new listeners every week all around the world, all around the country.
Yeah, hit us up your squeezes, DMs. You
They're
know,
fizzling. You talk about fizzling. This show is fizzling.
How we doing? What's happening? What are we talking about?
Love, love, love.
Bye bye.